Grab your eclipse glasses, America. We'll get you ready for today's total solar eclipse. And more trouble for Boeing as a plane loses its engine cover during takeoff. The morning rundown starts now.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world. This is the Morning Rundown.
Today is Monday, April 8th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker. Millions of Americans are getting ready to look up and see a sight that hasn't been visible in 7 years. A total solar eclipse, an event when the moon completely blocks the face of the sun. The event is expected to darken the sky this afternoon. 15 states are in what's known as the path of totality, the eclipse's 115-mile track that stretches from Texas to Maine. NASA says 31 million people live in the path of the totality, and about 200 million more are just a few hours' drive. This will be a much larger event than the one we saw in 2017, when 12 million people lived along the path. Cities in the path have seen a rise in hotel bookings, and many have created events to attract tourists. While not everybody will be able to experience the total eclipse, NASA says most of the U.S. will see a partial one, although cloud cover is threatening to spoil some views across the country. There are warnings for today's eclipse. You'll need special glasses to look at it safely, except during the totality phase when it's safe to remove the glasses. Totality can last up to around 4 minutes in some locations. After today's event, the next total solar eclipse that can be seen from the contiguous United States will be in 2044. You can learn more about today's total solar eclipse at our website, san.com. As the war in the Middle East reached the 6-month mark on Sunday, the Israeli military announced it was withdrawing more ground troops from southern Gaza, leaving just 1 brigade. Israel has been gradually reducing its troops in Gaza since the beginning of this year. The Israeli defense minister says the troops will be preparing for future operations. Israel and Hamas have confirmed they were sending delegations to Cairo as negotiators from the United States, Qatar, and Egypt were meeting to settle on a plan that would see a temporary ceasefire and the release of all the hostages taken by Hamas on October 7th. Hamas has said in the past they would agree to a deal only if it meant ending the war. Israel has said after any short-term truce, it would continue its mission to eliminate Hamas. 2 key lawmakers have unveiled a bipartisan bill that aims to restrict how companies can use personal information, allow people to opt out of targeted ads, and give individuals the right to take legal action against violators. Democratic Senator Maria Cantwell and Republican Representative Kathy McMorris Rogers unveiled the American Privacy Rights Act on Sunday night, which according to them sets, quote, clear national data privacy rights and protections for Americans. If passed, this legislation will establish a national privacy standard stronger than any current state law, granting Americans more control over their personal data and the ability to block companies from sharing or selling it. According to Cantwell, the act gives Americans control of their information and reins in big tech from manipulating people's behavior for profit. The measure stands as of now a draft bill and has not yet been formally introduced. A man has been arrested for setting fire at the office of Senator Bernie Sanders. The 35-year-old suspect was arrested on Sunday, charged with using fire to damage the building in Burlington, Vermont. The incident occurred last Friday morning. According to the Department of Justice, the suspect entered the building and made his way to the 3rd floor, where security video captured him spraying a liquid near the outer door of the office and using a lighter to ignite a flame before fleeing. The fire damaged the door and surrounding area. No one inside the office was injured. Sanders was not in the building at the time. In his statement following the fire, the senator thanked law enforcement for their swift response. A Boeing 737-800 bound for Houston was forced to return to Denver International Airport after its engine cover detached and struck the wing shortly after takeoff. The Federal Aviation Administration, which is now investigating, reported that the Southwest Airlines flight experienced a malfunction while carrying 135 passengers and 5 crew members. This occurrence adds to a recent series of scares on flights, including 8 incidents with United Airlines last month within a 2-week span, 5 of those involving planes from Boeing. No injuries were reported in this incident. Finally this morning, South Carolina concluded its undefeated season on Sunday in style by winning the NCAA Women's National Championship. Coach Dawn Staley leading the Gamecocks to an 87-75 win over Iowa and record breaker Caitlin Clark. This was South Carolina's 3rd championship in program history, becoming the first undefeated team to win the title since 2016. And as for Clark, even in a loss, she still managed to break 2 records, 1 for most points in a single quarter of a championship game, and 2, the all-time NCAA women's tournament scoring record. You can expect to see her again in 1 week at this year's WNBA draft. These are your top stories for this Monday. Unbiased, straight facts, that's Straight Arrow News. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.